Hello, I wanted to pop in here and share how obsessed I am with ground ivy. More and more I'm becoming so obsessed with this flower, with this plant. So most of you probably know ground ivy as like Creeping Charlie, and it can kind of take over your yard, and you'll usually see it kind of small like that. Now, when you let it grow, let it be wild and grow the way it's meant to, it gets to be like this, a long, beautiful plant. And I found a couple big patches up here on the trail that I'm walking on. I love this trail back behind those trees. And I love this trail because it's left wild right now. And I always have to get ground ivy before they start mowing, because once you mow, you really start to take out some of these really valuable plants that grow in the grass. And this is one of them that often will be growing in grasses near the edge of woods, kind of in almost swampy areas. But it has really beautiful medicine for chronic stagnation, and more I have been drawn to this plant to help in pulling chronic sinus congestion out. For myself, I'm starting to work with it, and even just this week, I can't believe the change I've seen in kind of the drainage I'm getting in my sinuses. So this, just look at these flowers, how beautiful that is. So the purple, we can often look at flowers and the plant. The color of the flowers can often be an indicator as to what that plant will help with. So when we see this purple flower, it often will connect to kind of the third eye area, third eye crown. So this is very connected to the pineal gland, which connects to your eyesight, your sinuses, your mouth, jaw, ears, anything kind of in the head area. And then we got yellow here. This is yellow sweet clover. I've had this one for a little while too, and I really love this plant. Yellow often connects to the solar plexus in our chakra channels. And then we have wild geranium that is also kind of a more of a violety color. So this is probably going to connect more to even like a pinky violet, probably more of the crown in like a spiritual opening, and kind of this indigo-y color will be more pineal and third eye. So I wanted to share these. So ground ivy I'm going to be using in my mucus blend for a tincture, and I'll be making it in a tea as well to help in, I'm by the dam, that's that noise right now, I don't know what that means, to help pull chronic stagnation from the head. And most people don't even realize how much stagnation they have in their head. Now, I'm a good example of that, as well as my mom. She doesn't really realize it. Hopefully she sees this. So when you've been chronically stagnated for a long time in the head, you adapt in order to breathe in a different way, usually mouth breathing, which is horrible for jaw. Often TMJ issues, dental issues will start to arise. Lymph nodes will swell, you'll have tonsil issues, and you'll start to have asthma. It can cause sleep apnea. This is all related to head congestion. So whenever you are dealing with those things, you're likely dealing with head congestion, sinus issues. And you could also look at the shape of your nose. I have this kind of bump in my nose, and so does my mom. And I have come to believe that it relates to a chronic pressure in my sinuses and head that has kind of created that bump And it's kind of like a genetic factor that has carried down as well. And being Irish, I've talked about this before, born with green eyes, my mom has green eyes. There is a connection in this lineage of having chronic head and sinus buildup, congestion that has kind of shut down the third eye. It has shut down the crown chakra. It has shut down the throat chakra, and has kind of stifled and suppressed your voice, your spiritual gifts, and your connection with your spirit and self. So that's what a lot of these are going to help with. The mucus and head is crucial for part of the awakening process. I talk about purify in terms of purifying the body. Now, Seeds of Birth represents purify, awaken, and expand. And the purification is the body, the physical body purification process, which involves lots of fruits, fasting, and herbs. And that can be an ongoing process. The awaken, the wake is the awakening that comes from the purification process. So as you begin to pull out the mucus, pull out the congestion, pull out the waste, pull out the toxicity, all of this that has been poisoning and suppressing the connection to your spirit and your intuition, it wakes you up. We talk about waking up to the world. That's part of what I'm encouraging in this purification process, this regenerative detox. It's not just about the body or how you're eating. This is a full, whole body awakening process. And then in Expand, we are expanding our knowledge and wisdom and expanding in our own connection to ourself, our own intuition, our own instincts, our own self-guidance system, so that you are not bypassing your own self-governance and giving it to other people outside of you, whether that be in a hospital setting with your doctor, with any medical professional, any therapeutic person, any in birth, in parenting, at work, in anything that you're doing. We often compromise ourselves and give our authority up in order to fit in a box of the culture of normalcy, of fitting in to a certain guideline and rule system. Seeds of Birth is about the little seeds of wisdom and knowledge that will begin to grow and bloom out of this purification, awakening, and expansion process. So I'm excited to keep creating this and bringing it to people. If you want to work with me, please either send me a message, email me at wildmotherawakening@gmail.com, or go to my website, seedsofbirth.com, and I look forward to helping you all.